Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode where I discuss price action regarding cryptocurrencies. Today's a little bit different because it's the year end, and if you're watching this on the new year, happy new year. I want to wish you a year full of success and happiness and that you achieve the goals that you have set for yourself if you have any. Now let's go ahead and get started with the price action of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically going to dictate where the rest of the market will basically go. So as you can see here, the yearly candle is coming to a bearish close. Now, this I think has a lot of information in itself, and this is a very bearish engulfing candle. That means that we'll see some follow through in the next year of 2023. We'll definitely see some red before we see some green. Now, I do have a hypothesis of where we will go and how it will happen. And so you can see that we're getting some sell-off before the year end. We have about 1 hour left before the yearly candle closes. If we look at the 6 month, you can see that we had a very bullish, so we had actually a topping candle here on the 6 month on Bitcoin. And then we saw the follow through, and now we are seeing somewhat a little bit more follow through. But I'm expecting us actually to hit this level right here, which is a very important level. So people are underestimating the support that we have in this range of the 14,000 to 12,000. What I do expect to happen within the next 6 months is basically we retrace all the way down to this level. We wick down here, we head up, and then basically that's going to tell us where we're going for the next 6 months. Now, I don't know if that's too helpful or not, but I do see us going a little bit lower before we go higher, just because the candlesticks are very bearish. Now, I want to point something out. In COVID, so during this COVID time, I posted this on my Twitter. During COVID, what we saw in Bitcoin was a huge wick, a doji candle. I mean, this is basically this wick right here on this 6 month candle is a very bullish bottoming type of candle that you want to see when an asset pretty much declines and you want to see it move higher. I do expect Bitcoin to do that, and I think the price level that will happen at is here at this 9,500 level. The reason being is because, okay, a lot of the price action basically revolves around the psychology of humans. And so what price will really break a lot of people to the point where they'll want to quit? And I think that price is sub 10K. A lot of people are thinking we're going to get a midterm rally before so there's two things going on right now. Number one is people, let me go into the intra chart and intra price action. A lot of people thinking that we rally from here, we head up to like 30, and then we crash. The reason why I don't think that's going to happen is just because if you look at the yearly and you look at the 6 month, there's so much selling pressure on these candles that we might wick maybe to 19 or 18.5, but we won't head any higher. I think we'll actually head lower. Next thing I want to point out is you need a price where people will want to quit. If there's one thing I noticed in crypto, that was around here when we bottomed out in 2018. And for the COVID lows, which happened really quick, it was around here. See, so this is more of a bottoming type of candle formation on the monthly that you see in crypto or in general. This is very rare, this type of wick. But what we need to happen is we bottom out. And the price of which we will bottom out is a price where people will want to give up. Always remember that. So I think we'll see some follow through in the next 6 months. Just around 10K and break people's backs is if we dip below that 10K and then we come back above. Now, what does that mean for the rest of crypto? Well, let me show you something for the alts. The alts still have some more legs to go down. So as you see with Ethereum, we are basically hovering in this range. I think we'll test the bottom of the support around like the $600 mark. So we'll blow past this wick. There's enough support here to hold maybe $600. If you look at BNB, if we look at so this is the yearly candle, but let's look at the 1 month just because it's such a new token. I've said this before on my Twitter. I think there's a lot of hot air from this point on at the 243 region all the way down to the $40 range. And you can see, just if you zoom out, and it's nice to do this on the yearly close. If you just zoom out, what you can see is a descending triangle on the 1 month. Now, these things will take a while to play out, but I think we're headed down for BNB. If you look at Solana, we are in the middle of bottoming out, and I mentioned this before. We have a head and shoulders, and now we're finally seeing the follow through. And a good price to buy is around this $4 range, or even in this support right here, which is the $3 range. And I think that's pretty much it for crypto. But you have to look at Bitcoin, and you have to see where the bottom will occur. And that will tell you where everything else is going to go. Unfortunately, I don't see any bullish patterns. I see rounding tops. I see selling pressure. And I see more like rounding tops, lower highs, lower lows. And until we see price action like this, where we get like a nice bottoming, so it's an inverse of the rounding. You see rounding here, right? So you want to see that on the bottoming structures here. You see it here. Selling is being bought up. I don't see any of that here. I see the pumps being sold. So sometimes it's good to just zoom out, especially like if you look at the 4 hour, you have no price action whatsoever. You see just these straight lines all the way across. It gets boring. And then it gets to the point where a 1% pump makes you think that we're going to the moon again. You got to zoom out. And a year end is a good time to reflect. And I really hope that this resonates well with you. You just have to be logical and just zoom out and just tell yourself, hey, you know what? It's good to sit on my hands for a bit. I don't even have to trade this. I can just sit and relax and sit on some cash, get myself a little bit busy, work on my New Year's resolutions, whatever it takes. But you have to be honest with yourself. I really think, unless you can convince me otherwise, that this is we're nearing the end, but we haven't hit the end yet. And so this is my first Twitter Blue post. I'm going to post this on YouTube as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please follow me on Twitter. If you like the content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Twitter. I am very responsive if you tag me in anything or if you tweet at me. I hope you guys like the content. This is it for the price action of Bitcoin. I'll be posting more throughout the year. Take care. I appreciate your time and best of luck. Thank you.